So with that out of our system, let's go into film number 3, Ready or Not, released September the 25th, 2019, directed by Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett. We had Samara Weaving as Grace Ladomas, Adam Brody as Daniel Ladomas, Mark O'Brien as Alex Ladomas, and Henry Czerny as Tony Ladomas. A bride's wedding night takes a sinister turn when her eccentric new in-laws force her to take part in a terrifying game.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Hey!
Kyle, were you entertained?
Yes.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Because I knew it was going to be going off today.
Ooh.
Were you entertained?
I was.
Was you?
Were you entertained?
Ever so slightly.
So you were.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ever so
Boys,
slightly.
Can we just clap every single...
It's the first time, isn't it?
This is mad.
But I'm saying ever so slightly. Mine's...
No, because we don't do slightly.
Okay, so
we do
yes,
yes
I
or no.
was. Yes, I was.
Building the team.
But the reason being... probably why I was so entertained, because I watched this just after watching The Kitchen. So even if I'd watched even if I watched Aladdin again, I'd have probably been entertained. Let's just...
Okay.
Man said because he watched another film that was so bad before.
Nah, you
this
gotta
film
put
had
more
to be
respect.
good.
Put respect on this
This
film.
film gets respect.
Yes, it does indeed.
Respect. You know what? I'm going to start. You know why? Because when I saw Ready or Not, I thought it was going to be juju. And there was elements of juju. However, it was the correct kind of elements. There was no Chucky doll. There was no ridiculous spirit. There was just some stupid people.
It was a ridiculous spirit.
Hey, it wasn't ridiculous in the film.
There was a ridiculous
Yeah, but I said ridiculous in the way it was portrayed.
And we'll get to star ratings, but I'm just telling you from now, as much as I was entertained, the star rating that I give...
Yeah.
Can I request that Kyle starts with this? Because now, upon watching this, upon watching certain scenes, I just started laughing because I thought, oh my God, Kyle's going to have to give a review like Midsummer again. That's all I was thinking.
Oh no, quite the opposite.
What the hell?
And that's why I wanted to start.
Wow.
That's why I want him to start.
So you rated this over Midsummer?
Oh, by far.
Oh, come on.
It's not even close.
Let the man right.
This is how
here we
you
go.
do.
Kyle.
This is how you're meant to do a film with certain topics.
No.
Come on, give it to us, brother.
It
Give
is.
it to us. I need to hear your review.
What
on
a way
this.
to start a film.
Agreed.
Thrilling, intense,
Intriguing,
suspenseful.
start. Yeah. Many questions
wanted
came
to
to
know
mind.
more.
Yeah, many questions came to mind.
Would you
at the
agree with
start.
that?
Yeah, I'd agree.
Sorry, you never got that from Midsummer. Carry on.
No.
I was what?
No, we did. No,
this is what I mean.
did.
This is what I mean.
We need to put it.
Midsummer was a good opening.
Very good opening.
The opening for Midsummer was better than this for this year.
Suicide you're ever gonna see.
You think?
That was a very intriguing
Midsummer?
start.
Midsummer. Stop hating. Stop hating.
I'm not hating.
You had the brilliant film cinematography. Yeah.
And then you had
then you cut to the parents that you thought they were just sleeping.
Yeah.
And then you see the
Then you had
exhaust.
the long take from the garage right up to. Come on.
I was more entertained with this than that.
No, you're
No,
talking
but
about
that's-
the
that's
piss.
fine.
No,
That's
that
fine.
scene, the opening scene, I was more like, oh, I want to know more with this.
You're taking the piss. Okay.
By far, it wasn't even close. Midsummer was a good scene, but it didn't. I wasn't like,
Wow.
oh, I want to know.
You know what? It's
This-
good-
No, I hear that. No, I hear
I was
that.
like, what is going on? I
But do you
want
know
to
why that is?
what
Do
is
you know why that
happening.
is? Because
hates the
purely
film so
because
much.
no. Purely because there was more action in the
No.
beginning of Ready or Not. You're seeing someone running down,
Exactly.
getting stabbed.
You don't know what is going on.
I get that, but
No.
the beginning of Midsummer was at the polar opposite in terms of action and
Yes.
immediate. Exactly.
Yes,
But it
exactly.
still had
Very
the same
deliberate,
effect.
It's okay, but the point is
suspense.
that I was more entertained. I'm not
I'm
saying
just surprised.
the
I'm just
opening
very
of
surprised.
Midsummer
Yeah.
wasn't good, well shot, but I wasn't the same level of entertainment.
Okay.
This, I was like, yes.
I can
This
see
is
why.
I love this. I love this already. I love this film. I love this film.
I
Alright,
can't.
continue. Get into it. Because the start, as I said, I thought the start was intriguing, and just a lot of questions. Obviously, not knowing what the hell this film was about. That eerie track as well. That Ready or Not hide and seek track.
Say Ready or Not's the Fugees.
They actually sampled that as well.
Yeah, I'm just getting the name of the film confused with the track.
That's a strong L
You know
to
what?
take.
Amara, you knew what I meant, didn't you?
I know what you meant.
knew what I meant.
I know what you meant. That's a
I'm just
strong.
blocking out.
That's
My
a
mum always told me, block out people that laugh at you. If they point and laugh, just if you look at them hard enough, they turn invisible.
flip's sake.
If I close my eyes and I can't see him, they can't see me.
Wow.
But yeah, that very eerie start. It was a very eerie initiation. I agree with you. Didn't know what was going on. I was immediately
It was
intrigued.
thrilling.
So,
And
yeah.
again, this is a film that knew exactly what it was. It wasn't trying to be serious like Midsummer.
I'll give it that as well.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Are you agreeing with that, Amari?
Miss Summer was serious, so carry on. If you're gonna
But
do,
remember, he loved
you're
that
talking,
monster.
you're talking about a guy who loved Midsummer.
Okay,
Yeah.
but, that's fair enough. But this,
This is
we
not
won't get into that conversation again. But
Well, the way you're talking about it, we're gonna get into it.
I don't want to
so carry
think
on.
about that film.
I think we should have a get together and just get on a plane and go to Sweden.
Just
No.
eat some mushrooms. Eat some mushrooms and do some speed dances around a wooden pole. But yeah, so Carl, so we got into the film. So we're in the film now. I mean, me personally, I loved the cinematography of this again. Very, very well shot film.
Wait, sorry. If we're talking about after the opening scene, and we get to the wedding, we get to the witch of the auntie or the grandma.
Whoa, don't skip the dads. Don't skip the dads.
The dad wasn't
Everyone.
hella bad in comparison to the auntie.
The auntie.
The auntie was rapid. I was like,
The face in it, the
I
scowl.
was like,
The
what's
scowl.
going on? And she's like,
Not even trying to hide
yeah,
it.
she's like, I don't even care about the wedding. Why are you? What are you not doing here?
On to man.
Hey, listen,
on your wedding day.
Oh no! And this is even before this is actually in the wedding section.
Yeah,
You see the
yeah.
behavior that she's doing. I was like,
Yeah.
no, what is going on here? Because obviously this is where it's great that we don't watch trailers or nothing. Because I was like, what the hell is this woman
this?
moving so mad? And I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I'm assuming her face must be in the trailer
Yeah.
because the way she was doing them
The
dirty.
scowl. Yeah. Proper.
But
proper.
yeah, I was like,
You
no.
know, there you go. Look in. I've got the aunt's grimace.
It was mad. Anyway, sorry, Carl, continue. That part there, it got me. At the beginning, I was like, and then, oh no, and the awkward conversation with the dad. Where the dad was like,
Yeah, he was my favorite character in the film because I like the way that he would. This leads on to another conversation I was having recently about posh people or people that may be more privileged and whatever than others. It's like things that, you know, in terms of like social circles or levels, whatever, things that maybe people of a lower level may enjoy and may have conversation about, maybe people that in a higher don't. So it leads to the question, like, Get Out. What do people with money do? Or what do insanely wealthy people do?
It's funny you should say,
because that's what a few of the lines were in the film. The rich, they're different.
Yeah. I got that quote. One of my notes was, this is Get Out for rich white people.
It was I felt a lot of sort of links between, especially when they were outside, and it was almost like obviously
in the wedding scene, in the actual in the pop party part that wasn't the party.
Yeah. Grace is like, obviously she's buying into the family, and you could feel she was the outsider, and the was it Alex was trying so hard to like make her, you know, don't worry. But I had a bit of a problem with Alex though.
He was a problem for the whole film. I thought he's actually
He was a conflicted character.
No,
I'm
he
glad you
wasn't.
felt that as
he
well.
wasn't conflicted.
No, he wasn't conflicted.
He was conflicted because the aunt said it more completely created by him. See, the dad said it. The reason why you told her to play the game is because you're still part of the family.
And I got the impression he was damaged. He was damaged goods, leading on to the or leading from the first scene where we see the older brother saying, "Quick, get in there."
He was the best character.
Yeah, you got the feeling that, okay, this is, and again maybe it's because I'm a big brother, but I get the sort of links
Who's
that
that?
little
Is that
brothers.
Daniel?
Yeah, because Daniel didn't want his. Daniel did the duty for the family duty, but he didn't want his. Didn't feel like, why does my brother need to see this?
But that's what I'm saying. He was an effect of everything the family was doing. So when
Exactly.
you say he was a conflicted character, I didn't feel he was conflicted. I felt, okay, I'm getting the sort of, he's a bit like mad. He doesn't know what to do. He's trying to be outside the family.
talking
But
about
he's
Alex
in.
or the brother?
That's Alex. I'm talking about Alex.
When he's conflicted within himself.
Oh, you mean, okay, I thought you meant in terms of the actual character.
No,
okay.
I didn't
Is
find
that
him
what you thought?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
No, I didn't find him conflicted. He wanted to be out, but he knew.
Yes.
But he couldn't.
But he knew he was never going to be out.
Then he's conflicted.
And that's It's no, but I don't see it. No, because the conflict is when you don't want to do something and you don't do it.
That's what I thought.
And if he wanted to, he would have not let her go in the conflict. He would have never let me in that position. He would have died for her. Supposedly, if you're gonna get married to her, I'm not saying I'm getting married or anything like that. But I'm saying if you're gonna die for someone, you're not gonna let them put themselves in a situation where they're gonna die if they don't do something.
Yeah,
you just don't get married.
Yeah, he was scared.
He was scared. That was the
If
point.
he doesn't get married, then there is no film.
Yeah, but then that's true.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
So he was conflicted. Moving on.
No, he was.
He was conflicted.
He was.
He's a
But the
bitch
point
boy.
is, he ended up being he was a prick.
conflicted.
Yeah, but he was a prick. But
Yeah.
he's a bitch boy anyway.
But he was
conflicted
part of the. For me anyway.
No, like even just try to escape, try to get her to escape. I was like, what? Nah, you can't do that shit.
Yeah, no, for me anyway, he was part of the reason why the film started to drop off. But we'll get there.
Okay.
When I'm talking about the cinematography.
You know what? Wait, pause. So what we're doing right now is that Kyle's gonna end up basically tell me he's already said it that this was better than Midsummer for him. And then what's gonna make me laugh even more is that his ratings looking like it's gonna reflect it with his sound effects that he's doing.
Just to
Listen, I was thoroughly entertained.
This is
by
why I'm
film.
like,
whoa.
he used the word thoroughly as
thoroughly
well.
entertained
He used
by this
thoroughly
film.
as well.
We're not even there yet.
I can't
Slow
believe
down.
this.
You move too fast. What was your rating for Midsummer? Coincidentally,
4.
He gave it 4 stars
right.
somehow.
Right.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So this guy,
Wow. Yeah.
So this guy
I love
is
this
hating
shit.
a Midsummer as dabs every minute.
Wow.
Which actually had content and actually
You were
made
the only
room.
one who liked Midsummer.
No,
It's
but
not just me.
no.
Just remember that.
You got a next hatred for that film.
But Giles did give it 1 star as well.
Yeah, but they both respected
You
the film.
allowed it and gave it
Yeah,
2
but
stars.
they both respected the film and what it was trying to do and what it explained.
What was
I feel like we're in a Royal Rumble right now. There's no sides.
You did it.
Everyone's
And
Ollie on to Ollie. Do you remember that? That's something you don't say like that. Ollie on to Ollie. What does that even mean?
Stop saying
Made up
it.
words, but everybody knows what you're talking about. Straight.
And the way you're talking about, the way you're humming about this film right now.
That's it.
Humming.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Carl,
No,
continue.
All right,
Continue, because
cool.
I need to get. Because
All
I
right,
mean,
so
all right,
let me just see if you lot are thinking the same way as I am.
yeah.
No one is.
No.
No one is. Just so you know.
What themes did you get out of this film?
Ooh, okay. To be honest
Family?
with you, family.
Traditions.
What about family?
Family sticks together.
That's all you got.
Family comes first.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, see? Again, you're not thinking on the level I am, but it's all right.
I am a psychologist of a master degree
let
of
us-
thinking of ready or not.
Dr. Taylor.
Clearly, if
Dr.
that-
Taylor.
if that's-
Sorry,
if-
can you
if-
come to the
if
meeting
all-
room now, please? We have a patient who needs help. Yes, the patient is himself. It's Shutter Island right now.
Dr. Taylor, we got an Arthur Fleck sitting in the waiting room to speak to you.
Carl, please explain. What level are you thinking on?
Not even that much higher, but you have to look at it. No, but you just said that families stick together. I'm looking at it as this is the impact that you have on your kids. Because I'm talking about the little kids that were involved in the game.
Okay.
Okay? Did you not see that
I
impact?
saw that. I've got that further on, but
Oh, what? When you tried to?
Yeah, so when you said, I'm talking about themes, the theme is the impact you as a family have on your kids. Not
True.
your family stick together. That's all you just said.
true, because obviously they were kids and they've grown up into.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a
that
theme.
didn't stick out to me though.
No.
That's a
It
theme.
didn't stick out. It's a
I
theme.
didn't
I'm
ask
not
you
saying
what
it's
stuck out.
not.
I said, what are the themes you guys saw?
But to me, and I know to you two, that theme was much louder than that. That theme was the obvious theme.
The obvious theme is loyalty and loyalty to the devil. When I do to the devil or whatever the thing was called.
Not low, but again.
No, but it was
Mr.
loyalty
Mr.
to
LaBelle.
it. Mr. LaBelle, loyalty
Yeah.
to Mr. LaBelle because they
Mr.
thought.
LaBelle. Let's look up who played Mr. LaBelle, shall we?
Fuck's sake.
I'll wait. Oh, Mr. LaBelle, you're in the room, are you? Sorry to offend you.
Anyway, look, Carl.
Anyway,
you need to
continue
lead
on
this.
with the
You
theme.
need to.
No,
you
you're
need to
saying-
lead.
No. I want to see what you lot
What else
either
we took
did
from
or
it.
didn't see.
Sorry, it was tradition and loyalty. That's the two.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
two
Family,
main
tradition,
themes.
loyalty.
There might
Yeah.
have been other themes, but they got
The main-
embedded.
those are the main
They
themes.
got
Those are the main
embedded in
themes.
because you're saying about the kids and the effects they had. The
Yes,
little
it did.
kids had an effect, correct. However, he was like, I still have loyalty to the family. They both did. The only reason the older brother said it's done now is because he thought it was like, I don't even want to do this. My wife's a crazy bitch because she wants to do this and that's all she wants to do. And she wants to be loyal to the family because she wants to be rich.
Okay, so
And
you
it's-
didn't see anything about faith.
So, faith,
Yeah, well, that's obvious.
What
With the whole
faith?
devil
I've
worshipping
asked
thing.
you lot to name me the themes. You lot said, I said
Yeah, but
loyalty and
that's
family.
not a theme,
Yeah,
though.
but that's not a
not a
theme.
theme. I wouldn't say
That's
that's
a theme that's running throughout their faith towards this pact that they've made. That's like, I'm a Christian.
No,
I've
that's
got
loyalty.
faith towards God.
That's
not a-
loyalty.
that's not a
No,
theme.
that is faith because
That's
they
not a
don't
theme.
actually know
That's loyalty.
whether they are gonna explode.
That's
so they've just
loyalty.
got faith. No, but that's what it is.
Can you just repeat that sentence?
That is what it is.
Can you just say that bit
They
again?
don't actually
No.
know
I'm not gonna
whether
lie.
they're gonna explode.
I want to say
Can
things
I
here.
give my star
And if I
rating
say
now?
things,
Can I just give my star
nah,
rating?
it's mad. If I say things right, if I say things,
Listen,
if I say things I
listen.
want to
It wasn't
say.
quite clear when we
Listen.
said it, but he did. Let's just
Wait.
Listen,
No,
hold
the-
fire,
faith
because
is
we're
no.
going to get there,
Faith
and
is
by
not.
God,
Faith
are we
is
going to get
faith
there?
is under loyalty in this conversation.
But this, okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say that faith was a theme.
You were talking
of this
about
film.
loyalty
It
to
was
the
a subject.
family.
Yeah,
It was a subject.
Loyalty to the family.
I can't believe the energy that Carl was talking
and
about
the
this.
loyalty
I can't
to the
believe this
tradition.
either.
I just can't-
And their tradition is based on the loyalty that they have. They have the faith, but it's merged into the loyalty of the scenario and the family and the tradition they've had.
Yeah, but
Agreed.
But I wouldn't consider faith as-
I'm picking out. To me, it was having faith in something and sticking to that faith.
Okay, but this
That's
is
not what you've highlighted.
Yeah, but
that's not what
okay.
any of you lot have
Because that,
highlighted.
to me, wasn't a theme. That
That's
was
a
very
theme.
obvious
But
that they were devil worshippers. Like,
Forget about the
Or-
devil.
or
It's
some
about
sort of worship.
the theme
Some
is
pact.
faith. The theme is that believing in something that you don't know is true. That's what faith
I'm
is.
not going to
But
say.
you
I'm
know
not
what?
going to
Get
say.
what-
I get
and
what you're
having
saying.
and having
I
that
get what
faith
you're saying.
right
It's a
to the
reach
end
to me.
because that faith was making them do crazy things because they really thought
That's true.
they were going. So that's I don't know how you lot don't pick that up.
Okay,
This is what
but yeah,
I'm
okay,
confused
okay,
about.
but you know what? Okay,
this is what
this
I
gonna sound
don't
weird.
understand.
This gonna sound. I don't know how it's gonna sound to you, but that's maybe because you're more of a religious guy than I think us three are.
Yeah,
Because to me, on
and-
surface level, like a very
And you-
from
and-
the scene where he explains the whole games and that
Yeah.
he brought out the box and okay, devil worshipping.
But they didn't
ghost,
even they didn't
whatever.
even fully explain it as devil worshipping. They just said it as a game. They didn't even
listen,
say.
no, but
Yeah.
listen, in those scenarios when you're watching a film, what's the first thing you're gonna think of? Okay, you worship some sort of demon, you worship some sort of being, you worship some person who's dead and now got. It's all to me. It all comes under one bracket: devil worship. I wasn't picking it up as a theme. I was picking it up as a subject within the film. That's just why.
Well,
when you want to talk about
I look
things,
at that as faith.
I get what
I'm
you're
not
saying,
gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna argue with that.
but I'm saying why I feel like you did and us three didn't.
yeah.
Because you have you're more
No,
connected
but
to faith in that
I wasn't.
conversation.
We're not going to go in this
Not
long conversation.
that-
But
no,
I wasn't
no.
religious a few years ago. But the
I
point
get-
is not about whether I'm religious or not. It's just I saw that someone is sticking by something which they don't actually know is true, which is faith to me. But
So,
I get-
outside
on that point, I do get his point.
Yeah, outside of the themes, then, Carl, what else? Because I mean, as I said, for me, all right, I'll keep this very brief. The cinematography within the house, following Grace,
The house is beautiful.
it was serious. It was
And
very,
even the fact that it
very
was shot,
serious.
obviously the film took place at night, and you got so it's like low level candlelight,
Yes.
you know, old kind of haunted,
Yes.
traditional haunted house.
That house was serious.
It was massive.
Yep.
Secret passages.
But you felt.
immersed in the house.
Yeah, yeah. Even when she leaves it and she goes outside, she's in the sort of patio bit where the wedding was. I love the whole in the day it was, light, white chairs. At night it's very
Like
sinister.
for me, when I was watching it, I thought, we like to go to escape rooms and do that immersive kind of entertainment.
Yeah.
If you was going to kind of book something like that,
Yeah.
They've got something like that in Massachusetts. I read the
Yes,
article, and
yes,
it's the one where you have to do fitness tests and stuff before you go in. I was like,
full psychic evaluation.
Hey, listen,
Sign me up.
It looks mad.
Sign me up. No.
Yeah.
Sign me
Man have
not
gone,
up.
man have
Yeah.
gone in and not come out.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Not come out the same.
Yeah, just sign this
Listen.
paper if you lose your
Yeah,
cards.
waiver. Let's sign- when you're signing waivers.
Nah, Black Mirror put me off. Playtest.
I haven't seen any of the new.
No, that's the
episodes.
old
That's
one.
the old one.
Oh, it's an old one. Which one
Where
was
he
that?
goes the simulation and
He does the computer game.
Yes.
Oh,
and his
yeah,
old
yeah,
friend.
yeah.
And he
yeah.
dies.
Yeah.
And he only survived.
That was in the first
It was
season,
only
wasn't
2
it?
seconds. He was actually in there for 2 seconds. That's mad. But he
Mind
signed away his
blown.
life. So yeah, I'm not on it. I'm not on it.
But yeah, I thought the house was beautiful. And again, I was watching this and I was thinking, yeah, this just reminds me of Midsommar. Again, it was a very beautifully shot film. Obviously, the theme here, it's a completely different theme. Let's not get into it, but it was much easier to digest.
You actually need to, because
Yeah,
it is
we
a different
do need
theme.
to.
Because obviously
what
Midsommar
did you
was
t-
Midsommar was for me, it was a cultural,
Yeah.
and this is how they live their life as a cycle.
But
And
I
they
would
do-
say there was more. The theme faith was more apparent in Midsommar.
No, but
than this.
I don't think it was a faith though. For them, it was more of their just culture. Because they didn't. In my mind, I didn't see them pray.
But it was worship. When you're
Yeah,
talking about faith, you're
yeah,
talking about worship.
worship.
Yeah,
So
but
that,
I
for
didn't,
me, that comes.
I didn't see them in my mind. I remember watching the film and I was thinking that I don't see them really praying. I just see them more them living away. They feel like okay.
But you saw the ceremony. They had a ceremony right at the end.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not debating that. But I mean, in terms of this, had more of a direct link to a faith, whilst Midsommar was more. This is the culture. This is what they believe. This is what they believe in, because this is how they've developed and they enjoy their society and it works for them. Whilst this was, I'm just believing in something completely blind
Because I've been told
without
about
theory.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been told about Will Midsummer is it makes sense that you don't want to have when you get too old, you can't look after yourself. So what is the way that you could say you could die with dignity? And this is the way that they choose to die. No, but
He loves that bar.
I listen.
He loves that bar.
Because it made sense to me, innit?
Hammer time.
Never forget.
Real dignity.
Never forget.
Hey.
But on the subject of killing,
Can we
first
discuss
killing was
which one's the
mad.
best killing? Which one's the best
Do you know
one?
what?
best.
Wait, did you lot guys enjoy the killing scenes then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So now you lot are confusing me.
I'm confused. Wow.
The film was mainly about the killing scenes. A bit like Child's Play, you have all these different deaths and the creative ways they can do it.
Yeah.
That's what the entertaining part of the film is.
But we said we were entertained.
We're
We didn't say we weren't
entertained.
Nah, but you're talking very
No,
negatively.
because the way you're talking. No.
Look, I can wrap this up. I can wrap this up.
What did you say earlier on? We're not as thinking as highly as you.
It's true.
We're not
on his level.
We're not on a higher level.
We're just surface reviewing.
You know,
They just do the surface.
we're basic
You
people.
go upstairs
It's a
and do
shame,
the
man.
rest.
What's
It's a
the air
shame.
like up there, Carl? Is it warm?
Yeah. Thinner. It's thinner.
Innit?
No, it's probably thicker.
Not as
Don't
much
worry.
oxygen gets to the brain. But on the subject of killing, I mean, for me, look, I'm not going to say that, because the killing scenes, I think maybe there was a handful, maybe 5 deaths.
The maids, the fact that the maids kept on getting
Which maid though? Because there was a few maids that died.
crossbow in the mouth.
That one. No, the one that gave her the gun and she thought she killed her. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, you dumb bitch.
It's true, and on the subject of that, as I said earlier on, there's a little theme in this cast. Cocaine's a hell of a drug, and it's jokes because the minute she was, I don't know if you man clocked. I clocked from
Yeah,
early.
you knew she was a liability.
I clocked
You knew
from
she was
early.
a liability.
The minute
You
she
knew
comes
it.
and introduces, and I think she like rubbed her nose. And like,
She was moving mad.
got the
It's like,
Colombian
oh, I like
marching
you.
powder.
No, but she was like, I like you. Oh, you're gonna enjoy the family. I was like, liability.
That her character was good. I think it added another.
think all of the
Again,
characters were
privileged. Not to say that only privileged people do.
Yeah, but that's what
those
it was,
kind of-
again, another theme about the rich.
Yeah, no, that was the main sort of themes for me were, like we said, family, loyalty, and the higher echelon. Mm-hmm. That was what I got. I didn't get the faith thing and all that. But anyway, we've spoken about that. So anyway, the killings I thought were really good. One scene that I really liked was when she goes to the was it like the goat pen or the goat?
Oh, with all the bodies.
Oh,
yeah, when she fell in that pit.
yeah.
That got me. I was like, ooh, that was a really sort of like teeth clenching.
They've done this before.
Yeah. But it was good. Filmed well with the little boy as well with the gun.
And her having to climb with one hand.
Yeah,
up
and then
the
the
ladder.
nail.
But
Yeah.
that
was tense.
But there was certain.
Hang on, she punched the little boy in the face.
Oh,
right?
she had to do
Yeah,
it.
she had to. Oh my
She
word.
had to.
Hey,
That
listen.
point.
Did that not remind you? See, when I was watching that, I immediately thought of in John Wick 3 when he's in the stables.
Yeah.
And the guy
And
gets
the
kicked in the
horse.
face.
Kicked in the
That's the first thing I thought.
That was horsepower, bro. That's the next thing.
Nah, but Noah.
Listen,
What man do you know that punches with a force of horsepower?
No, I've decided that I've changed my favorite character. I've now thought about it.
Yeah.
I think he's the fat guy who married in.
Oh, yeah. He gets a bomb. Yeah,
He was hilarious.
Yeah.
but that is comedy. The ladies from the kitchen should have taken a few notes out of his book because he was the obvious comedic character, but he done it in a way that was quite light.
And it wasn't
too much,
It was
not
just
too over the top.
But
Fitch Bradley.
It was was it the mum or someone said, no, it was the aunt, innit? I've never liked you. And he was, when she said to to him when he was going into the room.
That wasn't the part that I remembered. It was the one where he had the phone, learning how to shoot with the crossbow.
Exactly.
YouTube video. Relevant.
And I was like, bruh. It's
Go
true
to
because you
YouTube
don't know
for
what you would
everything.
do.
It's
true.
Because you wouldn't know how to shoot.
That's what you would do.
But that's what I liked about the film as
What
well.
I found
This
funny
is what
was
I'm
that
saying.
is that there was in up below him or above him, and he couldn't hear it because he wasn't paying attention to what was going on.
what was going
I was
on,
like,
yeah.
you idiot.
Another scene that got me laughing was, and again, it was a lot of realistic moments in this. But you see when she gets through the gate, and let's just give her a few seconds for squeezing through the gate. That was a serious little bit as well. Wow. I was thinking, mad, how'd she get through? But it was when she got through.
In the car. When she was in the car.
Get the fuck out of the way! How deep? But all right, let me ask a question. Carl, you're driving home after we finished recording tonight. You're just listening to your music, you're listening to Celine Dion, whatever, and then you're as you're driving, you see
Why is that funny?
a blood what appears to be a woman in a wedding dress covered in blood with what appears to be a very bad hand injury, screaming, help me.
Run her over.
Lads, what'd you do?
Run her
so
over.
you're going run her over because you're a zombie guy.
Yeah,
I hear
run her
that.
over.
What are you saying?
I'm just swerving around.
Amari.
I'm being a good Samaritan, you know.
And doing what?
Listen.
You stopping?
I'm telling you now.
You're stopping.
You stopping?
If you stop,
Nah,
you're
I'm not
dead.
stopping.
If you
I'm
swerve
swerving
around there,
around
she's
there.
finding her way to your yard. No matter if you can live 100 miles away, you run them over, and then you reverse up. You run them over straight. Run them over.
And you know what you do the reverse afterwards?
Yeah. And then go again. Go again.
It's true, man. You've lived through too many zombie films,
I've done 10 years
documentaries.
of Walking Dead. Plus, before that, George A. Romero's. Yeah, you run them over.
Man, state of
And
affairs.
on this subject of just giving some shouts out to funny scenes, you know we got to drop a bomb for the butler as well.
Hey, the butler was
he was
You know
a
your
joker.
name and everyone in the film
What do you mean?
as good characters.
Yeah, I know I am.
Yeah,
I know, yeah.
So basically, what I'm struggling.
where you're going. I know where you're going.
I'm struggling to understand
I had an
why
issue with
you
the
lot
butler.
said.
But I had an
Why
issue-
you lot
I
said.
had an issue with the whole butler thing.
But just to
I just want to know why you lot said.
Yeah.
It's interesting you didn't enjoy Midsummer, but enjoyed this.
Don't worry, because
so I
don't
want
worry.
to understand why that
and
is.
you will understand because anyway, we'll get there. Literally 2 minutes, we'll get there.
He's breathing so
Because
hard.
this is
he's so-
how you're feeling, Carl. This is how I was feeling watching the film. I was watching
know,
the film,
but
it was building. I was enjoying it.
Wait. So you see how you're talking right now? This is how I feel that when you lot wasn't understanding Midsummer. Just so you know.
It wasn't an understanding.
No. But understanding and enjoying because you didn't understand and enjoy.
My
It
whole
was
thing with
3
the butler
hours as well. Midsummer.
Why did she leave him
This was
alone?
90 minutes.
Why did she leave the butler?
That didn't mean
Alive.
anything.
It was in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Yeah, why leave him alive? These
Fear.
people
Wanted to keep it
Nah,
moving.
get out. These people are
Trying to
you've-
kill you.
You've come into this family and they're weird. They're blatantly weird.
They was weird
Off the
from
bat.
the get go.
Right, they were weird. Right, they're weird.
Well, as soon as you
Yeah?
meet them, apart from the mum
Yeah.
seemed nice.
It's funny how you've only got to the day of the wedding to realise that they're really weird. But go on.
Can I just ask, who's the mum? What's she been in? I recognise her from like
What's her
something
name?
in the
What's-
90s or
what's her
2000
name?
eras.
Who? Andy MacDowell.
Yeah.
she's just
Yeah, she used to.
Oh, no,
She's been in a
she's
lot of
famous.
stuff, innit?
She used to be in
she's
a lot
famous.
of things.
Yeah,
I can't think off the top of my head, but she used to be quite serious.
This is,
That's what I'm
so
saying.
basically, when
She
she
was
used to be,
hold on,
she used to be
look,
young
she's
and buff, and now she's old and wrinkly.
She's been in Groundhog Day, Sex, Lies and Videotape.
Yeah.
That's from the 80s.
Yeah.
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yeah.
Hudson Hawk with
Okay.
Bruce Willis. I believe.
Carry on.
Yeah, because I've seen her
There must be
face.
some- there must be
She
some-
still does like Olay commercials, I think, something like that.
Okay.
That's what I think it is, you know.
Yeah, because her face, I was
about,
like, I
yeah.
know this face.
Yeah,
It's a
I
face
didn't
I've grown up
And then
with.
She's famous.
It's just surprising
She is
she's in
famous.
that
And she does
supporting role.
and does the anti-wrinkle, which doesn't
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
I think it's
It doesn't
Olay
work.
or something. Yeah,
It doesn't work.
All right, Carl, so tell us more about Butler.
Yeah, the butler. Why, so
Why is
the-
he alive? Why not kill him?
what's is it Grace?
Grace, yeah.
So she's come into this family and she gets put into this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game. It's not really explain what the games, why they're playing games, but it's just something we do. Just go with it. Cool. It becomes quite apparent that these people are out to kill you. Everyone in the house is out to kill you. Then she gets pretty much a 1-on-1, a 1v1 versus the butler, who's trying to kill her, and she doesn't.
didn't-
She
yeah,
doesn't
it
kill
was-
him.
it was a bit
Like,
strange.
to me. That doesn't, because I think I put, why leave the butler alive? Oh, so he could catch her again later. Like it
Yeah,
it didn't like.
That's a serious subplot issue right there, you know. But let's carry on.
Well, look, I mean,
Hey, Carl.
do you know what? I'm gonna. I mean, we've spoken about. I mean, unless you boys have got anything else you wanted to say that stuck out. For me, I've spoken about the majority of the film and what I liked. I'm just gonna read you, Carl. I'm gonna direct this at you. Yeah, I'm gonna read you the last few notes I wrote. So I've got Alex confirming his psyche is a bit messed up because of the way his family has behaved all his life, which I think we can all agree on. When he done his turn, which I thought was a bit random. Obviously, his brother gets killed. It pushed him over there. It's cool, whatever. Then I've written mad scene.
Wait.
They're trying to kill Grace again. Go on.
Pause. Who killed the brother? It wasn't Grace.
I think, was it the wife? I can't even remember now. But anyway, the mum died. The mum got killed, which was mad.
No, that's what turned Alex.
Yeah, that turned Alex.
Because the mum was trying to make. Because obviously they wasn't trying to kill her, just trying to maim. Get it right. Just
because they
maim.
needed to perform the ritual.
Just maim.
And then I've gone on to say, mad scene. They're all trying to kill Grace again. Then I've said, hang on, they're all acting like vampires. And my final note was, well, I wasn't expecting that. I'm sorry, Carl. I'm not one to turn my nose up at fantastical moments. I'm not one, I love a bit of sci-fi, the rest of it. But I couldn't get past that exploding body sequence. That for me,
Spontaneously combusting.
that for me,
Really? We're just gonna do that, yeah?
You know what it reminds me of? You remember Blade 1 when you
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a very random person. I like to be random. I like things that you're not expecting. I get all of that. But I'm sorry, after that scene, I actually just thought to myself, so I've just invested, how long was the running time?
It was only 90 minutes.
I've invested 89 minutes buying into a
Actually,
story.
95.
94
You should be used
minutes.
to that. That's about the same time you used to get when you were good.
Low blow. Just ignore that. As I said, close your eyes and hum your favourite song in the world. Everything will be fine. But I've just invested 94 minutes into this. I've bought into the story. I've bought into the film. I've paid money to see the film. And this is the ending this is the ending you're giving me.
Was it not a cine board?
All right,
This is the ending you're giving me.
All right.
No, sorry. And then even that. Okay, so you're gonna do that. Okay, cool. Wow factor, shock factor. I get it.
And then the image.
And this was what, again, I just thought of you. The final scene. I think she said what? The in-laws, or something. To me, that is directly comparable with Danny smiling in Midsummer, which you hated.
How is it comparable?
Because we've got the main character who's gone through a massive turn situation, whatever, gone throughout the whole film, story, deaths, all of everything. She's sitting there covered in blood after just trying to run for her life for X amount of hours, and she wants to crack
still in
jokes.
a wedding dress, by the way.
She wants to crack jokes.
Yeah, but can I ask you, was Midsummer meant to be funny?
No,
And I didn't take it as a funny film either.
it wasn't.
Exactly. This was not meant to be taken seriously.
Okay, so that's
All right.
why you're saying she ended
Yeah,
the film
because this
on
was not
lightheartedness.
Yeah, this was not. Are you saying you took the film seriously?
No, I didn't take it seriously.
So then,
but no. Listen,
that's it for me.
listen.
Well,
There's not
did you
taking
take it
something
seriously?
seriously.
I took the film.
Did you take it seriously?
No.
No.
I
So
took
that
that
scene-
wait. I took that some people actually might live this lifestyle and take it seriously. I took that from the film.
Okay,
Believe it
but
and
the
do
to-
what do
okay.
the
And
stuff
do
that's happening in the film.
exactly-
Okay, but the tone of the film was not meant to be taken seriously. I always come back to this. It's a film that knows what it is. If this was meant to be a serious like horror film or serious drama, then I would say, what? Where's this? But this wasn't meant to be taken seriously. So that scene was completely in place. Midsummer was meant to be taken seriously. There was no comedic.
Was Midsummer
element.
meant to be taken seriously?
Oh yes, most definitely.
Why'd you say that?
Because it was trying to be higher than what it was. It was about.
No, it wasn't trying to be higher.
Is that because it was filmed better? Are you saying that because the cinematography was
So
better?
what did you? So did you think it
The
was? It
cinematography
was
was
meant.
better.
It wasn't meant to be taken seriously.
Midsummer?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
You think the tone of that film was absolutely just out there? I didn't think so.
Well, I mean,
I thought it was looking at a cult, and it wasn't. The tone of it was not in jest.
I don't
at
think
all.
it wasn't a cult though.
I call it a cult.
No, I would put it in that category as well.
And it was not in jest.
The reason
that
why
film was not in jest.
Just to
at all.
clarify, the reason why I wouldn't put it as a cult, because a cult is usually you have a lead supreme figure and everyone flocks to do them from different places.
Okay,
whatever.
by
this was
definition.
but this was a community and this is their culture. So it's not a cult.
It's a cult to me.
No, but
that film's about a
I
cult.
just explained to you why it's not a cult. And the definition of a cult would be one person that's leading it,
Okay.
and everyone follows it from different places.
Outside of that
Do you
one
mean
person.
What, Smack Nation?
No, I was going to say. Listen, we're leaving the Jews alone. We're leaving Spac Nation alone.
Okay, so we're talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the tone of Midsummer was, to me, was not in jest. It was not a joke. This was. So that's why I didn't have a problem with that scene at all.
And I get that, but just me personally, I didn't think they needed to take that route out of the film. I'm not saying it didn't work, because yes, it did wow me. Yes, it did make me think, what the hell? Like, it got a reaction, which I know that's what they were looking for. But me personally, after the way that the film went, and it was at that point, up until that scene, for me, a 3-star film. Like you say, it done what it wanted to do. It said what it did what it said on the tin. It did it pretty well. That was the fast, like the mad left turn, the swerve. That for me, I was like, that was the Marmite moment.
I enjoyed that personally, because again, I didn't take it seriously. That was quite funny to me. That actually it is real. They've all exploded. The thing that you think, this is ridiculous. How can these people be believing this? And then they actually do explode. I actually find that funny.
Okay, fair enough. Now it swerved way to the left for me. Favorite scenes before we wrap this one up, Carl.
There's a lot of scenes, man.
Wow. Can we just have one, please?
I'm going to go with the scene in the kitchen with the butler. That was very
when he was whistling,
intense.
he was singing. Yeah,
yes, that was intense. Yeah,
Amari,
Come back to me.
Charles.
Crossbolt in the mouth.
No, you know what? Following that, my favorite scene was when she killed the girl, thinking it was the other girl. When she killed the maid.
Yeah.
The cokehead killed the maid.
Yeah.
And then the family was like coming and the dad coming in
That
was
was
like...
the cokehead, she repeatedly couldn't use any of the weapons.
She was a mess. But it's when the dad come in and said, why are you shooting her in the head though? You need to hit her so we can
do the ritual.
That's the part.
Did one of them...
Daddy's little girl, innit?
I don't know. Did one of...
she killed the favourite cousin. She killed the favourite cousin or some shit.
maids or something like
that. That's what I'm saying. The film was a joke. That's what I'm...
There were funny bits. There were funny bits.
It's like me complaining about, say, snakes on a plane and trying to take that film seriously.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be serious.
I hear what you're
I don't
saying.
think it's about taking it seriously. I think it's about the root. It's about the root.
What he said.
The tone. It's all about the tone.
It was a film for me that knew exactly what it was, and wasn't trying to present itself to be anything else.
Yes, yeah.
But I agree with what Carl said on that. But I also agree with what you said. That final spontaneous combustion scene didn't need to. They didn't need to do that. Like somewhere in my head, I think they've.
Well, in that it shouldn't have been real about the
somewhere in my head, I think that they've filmed two endings. They've done an ending without that, and they've done an ending with that,
and they've said, let's do it.
Maybe they did. They might have done a test,
little focus group, and said which one do you find more entertaining?
Me wasn't on. Yeah, by the way,
it's true.
Jackie, Auntie Jackie, we're gonna have that.
Have words, but I agree with that.
I could see them having two endings, and then probably on the DVD release, there'll be a
no. But what annoyed me about the ending was the fact that what's his name? Mr. LaBelle was there laughing, and I was
it just got a bit hokey,
that
man.
Was mad. Like throughout the whole film,
it was like the film was silly. This was very silly,
and it's like you could okay, all right, look. Do you know what? Let me just do this. My favourite scene was when she fell into the pit in the
goat pit.
What do you mean?
Just get to this,
which is sometimes represented as the devil as well.
Good link.
Yeah.
Didn't think of that.
Do you mean like the part where she used her hand as a joke to say?
Yeah. When she had to come out of that. So anyway, I'm giving this 2 stars. Reason for that, it would have been 3.
You're laughing now
because I was entertained. For me, what stood out the most was the cinematography, as we spoke about, the way that everything within the house was filmed, the lighting, the music as well, very suspenseful, and that was all done with the way it was filmed. I thought that was good. Performances were good as well. I can't say they weren't. I felt that each character played a role that wasn't in any way the same as any other. So they all were very individual. That was good as well. Storyline was kind of original, kind of fresh. Didn't know what to expect. I think they did that well. But for me, the ending, I just couldn't get with it, man. As I say, I invested the time watching this film. I was bought in, and I would have preferred to have a slightly different ending than 6 or 5 people randomly blowing up and then a ghost appearing on the chair and then she walks out. It was a bit too out there for me. Not to say that wouldn't have worked in another film, another setting, but in this particular one, I thought that was a poor way to end what would have been a decent film. So that's what brought the star rating down for me. So it's 2 stars from me. Giles?
It's 1 star from me. Yes, I said he's laughing now. The thing was, it originally was a 2-star. It was a 2-star film.
These guys. It's funny. I'll get on to you two.
It originally was a 2-star film because I know. No,
It's like you know, it's in the review to say it for the review.
It's fine. It originally was a 2-star film for me, but then the ending, I didn't like the ending. I didn't like the ending. The whole exploding. Like, okay, really? Like, I mean, they didn't really go into that much depth about why they even had this pact. It was just like, oh yeah, we've got this pact with Mr. LaBelle, and we have to do this because Mr. LaBelle said, and we've got this pact, and okay, but why? I just kept on asking, but why? Then I had
Mr. LaBelle met their granddaddy, great granddaddy, and he gave them the bucks. That's what they have done.
For money.
They need the money.
Was it? No, it wasn't.
He
even
said
for,
one of them.
it wasn't for money.
I don't know what he said.
The dad was talking about it, but it wasn't even for money.
No, it was because he said, "I'd rather be dead than lose all of this."
Yeah, it's a success, money, success, power. Because obviously there are
the things you're willing to do for money.
So even if we go with that, so they've got to sacrifice someone who's married into their family only if they choose this game.
Yeah,
they had about 80 games. They're a games production company.
Yeah.
And they've got about 80 games, and they have to choose this game for.
Speaking of which, how did that box even work?
Bruv, I don't know, bro.
A card in, they come out.
Mr. LaBelle wrote what he wanted in the card, didn't it?
Yeah. He didn't choose that all the time.
Well, because you only want to see people die every now and then. I told you.
And this is why I wrote 1 star. Then for me, there was the whole, okay, the game they're playing is hide and seek.
Sorry, before you say anymore, in hide and seek, I never knew somebody died. But carry on.
Say that again?
In hide and seek, I never knew it was the aim to kill someone.
There's that. But okay, they're playing hide and seek. Right. I can buy into all of that.
I can't even do that. But carry on.
The whole point, and then I got the point was, okay, not to kill her, to maim her so that we can perform this ritual. But then one of the brothers found her. Was it Daniel?
No, it was Daniel. That's
Daniel
it. Yeah.
found her.
Adam Brody.
And I said, I give you time to run away.
And then let her go, and it was like, hang on.
He wasn't on it. He wasn't on it, and they did show several things throughout the film that showed he wasn't on it.
But still, he agreed to participate.
The butler one was a bit more of like
and then you had the butler one.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, 1 star.
1 star from
But
G.
there was enough in the film for me to be entertained. And as we've said before, we can be entertained by 1-star films.
Yeah. Amari,
so subscribe to that.
That's your mistake. That is completely your own mistake. Because trust me, I've seen worse films and I've been entertained.
Trust me. Sharknado. We say it every time. Have you seen Sharknado?
No, I haven't actually seen it.
See, you don't even know.
You might even be entertained.
You don't even know what you're missing.
But I'll explain why anyway.
Anyway, so I will recommend people to watch this film if they want to be entertained. But if they're gonna ask many questions after the film, don't call my number. Don't even message me on WhatsApp. And I'll block you on normal message. So I don't have to.
To be fair though, Amari, even if you speak to them on WhatsApp in a conference call,
okay, we're not
and you can see their face, you probably won't even remember the call anyway. So people, please do phone them and text them. You won't remember.
It's true.
All right, so we're not going to discuss about that. All right, cool. Now this film. I was going to be really petty just because of Carl's hate towards Midsommar. I was going to reduce my star rating.
That's personal. Personal.
I know. I said I was. But the film was entertaining, but there's too many pitfalls. Like I don't understand. Like if the brother, no, what I don't understand, yeah, is if the brother didn't want to play, the brother could have either just killed her, or he could have killed himself. Simples.
What if he doesn't want to do either?
What? So he plays? Then he's stupid.
He doesn't have a choice, but anyway.
So he does have a choice. I just gave you two options.
What if he doesn't want to kill himself?
He kills her.
He could have run off.
Yeah, he could have not been there.
Okay, but they didn't know what card they were going to draw.
No, but
right?
but after he
But
knew
Mr.
what
LaBelle
card had
did.
been drawn.
Okay.
Stop that. He drew the
LaBelle,
cards. So after that point, he knew what he could have done. Alright, and he chose none of the above, apart from doing some wet behavior shit, thinking then like, oh, let me be the good one, because he kept on trying to tempt her not to play or not to marry into the family. Definitely probably hit her at one point or two in the film, but we're not going to discuss that. We're not discussing that. Anyway, back to the film. Now, it was entertaining. However, I'm telling you, if I'm that girl, I'm killing that little boy just for trying to kill me in the middle of the process. Just so you know. You think I'm just waiting to kill the mum? I'm trying to take out every motherfucker. Everyone can't
No,
get
it's
it.
true.
Of course.
It's true.
And the only person that's not going to get it is the brother, because the brother's actually trying not to kill me.
Yeah.
And just to jump on that point,
100%.
to piggyback that point, I would have much rather seen a sort of like Grace goes flipping Rambo on them and does her next and wipes them out and has a showdown.
Even
And then
when
see-
she got the gun and
and
she had
then
the
see-
bullets, you'd think, okay.
Oh, right, and the bullets, did the bullets even work? or
it
something?
was an antique
You
gun.
think I put them up there? You think I put the real ones on the wall?
Because I think that's on the poster.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the poster.
Yeah.
That is
Oh,
on the poster.
Dressed in
Yeah.
the shorties.
I love
Yeah.
that poster.
No, it's good. It's good. But yeah, so yeah, I would have preferred to see something going down those lines.
But that didn't happen. So instead, they just blew up. Hey, listen, like I said, like Blade. Hey, listen, I didn't watch vampires. It's not okay. So that all being said, I'm gonna give it a gracious 2 stars.
That's it, gracious.
And the reason why it gets 2 and not 1 is because the comedy moments did increase the banter for me.
2 stars from Amari. So Carl, that leaves you with
15-star film. Carry on.
Exactly. That's the only way I can get the rating I want.
but unfortunately,
I love the way there's agendas. People are strategic. I reckon people are changing their rating when we're
Listen,
rating.
I was expecting. Listen, I'm actually leaving here disappointed today because I was expecting a midsummer-esque style rating, but I've got the complete opposite. So, so Carl, star rating.
What's interesting? Again, I've been listening back to previous shows so I can take out snippets and stuff. And there was a show where we were rating Child's Play, and even Amari said is that you two guys' review sounded very 3-starish, but you both gave it 1 or 2. I can't remember which it was. And this, I'm getting the exact same vibe again because the way you spoke about the film is 2 stars. So this goes back to the whole star rating thing anyway. Because to me, even if Sharknado is a horribly shot film or whatever, if I was thoroughly entertained, I would give it 4. Because I'm not judging the film on its cinematography, its acting, it's how much I enjoy it.
But I am.
But
Can I just say, when I rate a film, I am looking at.
But
all
when
the
you go to
different aspects.
a film, you go to be entertained.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
And
but if we're gonna break down the levels of entertainment, what is entertaining me?
And it's
if-
1 star of entertainment.
But if
The kitchen was a shit film, but it looked good. As I said, I liked the setting, I liked the costumes, I liked the music. So I might
feel
not
of the film.
exactly. So even if a film, the acting and the words and what isn't grabbing me, other elements are.
But for this film, you guys liked the kill scenes. You liked the majority of the characters. Yeah. You didn't like the ending. But what else was it that you didn't like that it was so bad that you gave it 1 and you gave it 2?
I said I was
I
going to
gave
give
it
it 2. It was going
No,
to
but
get
even 2 is poor.
But 2 is a poor film.
It's a poor film.
Because its plot
and
holes,
my-
plot holes in the storytelling was real.
That's one point. And
It
the
was
main thing for me
real.
is the direction the film took. If a film is is going a certain way, and then it takes a mad left turn, which this did, and I left the cinema feeling
It's mad because
it's distasteful.
It's funny because I didn't see it as a mad left turn because the film was mad. This is ridiculous. They're playing a game.
Yeah.
Where they can't decide.
I hear what you're saying.
It's ridiculous.
I hear
So
what you're saying.
it's not
And
a left
there
turn.
was this
for
curse
me.
that said they were going to blow up,
Yeah.
and they blew up.
Yeah, it's
I
not a
get
left
that.
turn.
But to me, this was when they all started blowing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was as ridiculous as when you know in the Dead Don't Die
Hold
when
on,
the
hold on.
spaceship came
Yeah.
and took that. It was, for me, it was like
no.
They started blowing up.
like it was the first song went and it was like.
What? I was like, what?
But that
And it-
was the
and then
curse.
when I actually saw,
That
when
was
you
the
actually
curse that was
focused
spoken
on the
about.
body blowing up, when you actually focused on it, I just thought
No,
this is a
you know what
joke
killed
thing.
it?
Yeah.
No, you know what
This
killed
is-
it? It's when she ran outside with the two kids round the corner to thinking there was to run away to me.
And then you saw the cloud.
He saw
Bruv,
the
it was nah, and this is what I'm saying.
Them splat faces right there. It was like art attack.
I would have appreciated that, Carl, had there been maybe a little bit more alluring to the fact that this was more fantastical than it was. For me, don't leave it all to the last 2 minutes of the film where I'm watching people blow up and a ghost appear after I've just spent a majority of the film following what could be
90 minutes.
a realistic situation.
90 minutes.
I guess it's all about perspective on
It's
where
perspective.
you're coming from.
It's
Because to
perspective.
me,
Do you know
I
what?
thought the film was ridiculous in
Anyway.
its premise. Anyway, and that is what the foretelling was. Is that if you don't get this by a certain time, this is what's going to happen. So to me, that's not left field. It was spoken
Do you know
about
what?
from the very start.
Give your star rating. I'll
So
talk
yeah,
on.
this to me is what Midsummer should have been.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
This
Many societal themes and topics
Societal.
exploring.
Societal.
Yep.
Societal how?
I've just told you the thing.
No, hold on. Let the man give his wrap
I've just
up. Let the
I've
man give
given
his
you
wrap
the.
up.
I've told you. Even you spoke about the YouTube and how real that was. How you could just go to YouTube for everything. But no, we've spoken about the themes. About
There are a few things. Yeah, there are a few things in
We've
this.
spoken
Yeah,
about
no,
those
because you know,
themes.
you know what I'm doing? Because you're telling me that Midsummer for its own society wasn't legit for all its themes that it was showing.
No.
And you're telling me
No,
societal
no.
themes.
Midsommar was
no,
just
but
boring.
the way you just said it, but the way you just compared the two is that it should have been.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
no.
Because this was entertaining.
Nah.
These guys had an issue at the end, but ultimately, from start, most of the majority of the film, you guys were entertained. You've given it shit rating, but you will still say you were entertained. I was not entertained in any way through Midsummer. So I'm saying this is what it should have been because it had themes and I was still entertained in 90 minutes, not 3 hours. I loved every single character in this film.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. I thought the woman gave a very good performance. I liked her transition. Yeah,
There's a few women.
Yeah, Grace.
the leading character, Grace. I liked
We're
her
not talking about the
transition.
kitchen anymore, you know. We've moved on from that.
It's hard to. He's still pulling his leg out. He's pulling his leg out.
It wasn't hard. Trust
The
me.
woman.
Yeah, Grace. Sorry, Grace. Sorry.
Sorry,
Loved it
Grace.
so much. The woman.
Can't remember her
Hey, listen,
name.
this is
Can you
over
imagine?
6 weeks ago. Since I was
It was a while. It was a while.
It's true.
It was a while.
Man's racking the depth of his brain to pull out these reviews, man.
Trust me. But yeah, so I enjoyed her transition from the little kind of not feeble girl, but innocent girl into someone a bit like Ripley from Aliens.
No, what?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, it's not. Sorry. No, wait.
I just said her transition into
I'm about
that.
to deal with you dissing Midsummer in comparison, and then you try to say this girl's like Ripley.
Man
from-
said Ripley
a
from
whole
Aliens.
Ripley, a whole.
Yes.
A whole Alien franchise.
I'm not
Oh.
comparing the film.
No,
I'm
but
just
you
saying the
comparing it-
transition from where she started to where she finished. I like that.
No, because
transition.
she didn't-
But anyway.
The timid, abused woman
Yes.
in the kitchen had more of a character transition.
Nah.
What do you mean? No. Did you watch the kitchen
Not for
properly?
me.
That
I
was
did.
the only character
She
with
was
development.
cutting up bodies.
I did not like her.
Oh,
Wow.
I've got one thing to say about this.
wow.
Yeah. Jolting. Anyway, cut the batty.
Anyway,
Get to your
the
rating.
film was intense, non-stop action from start to finish.
Intense.
It wasn't intense.
You know what's coming, innit? You know what's
Yeah, I
coming.
know.
If he ever gets towards a 5
So
hours,
wait.
if he gets to a 5, I'm going to
There
be.
weren't tense scenes in the film. No,
What scene?
there wasn't.
No, I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, but you said
I'm not
intense.
arguing that.
No, intense.
You
Tense.
found it intense.
Yeah, there are certain scenes. Yeah, did you not? You lot are laughing at that as if they were not.
I'm
laughing. I was laughing at the way.
This is crazy.
I was laughing at the way you were touched because no, they were intense scenes. Let's not.
No, but the way you're saying it is
that's what I'm saying.
You're
It's
saying
the
the
way
film. You're
he's
saying that the film
saying
is
it.
intense.
The film was
whole
intense and non-stop action from start to finish.
Non-stop action.
Which is what it was. Anyway, it's 4 stars.
4 stars from Carl.
Easy.
Good. I'm glad you went with 4 stars.
Easy 4 stars.
Good. Do you know why? Because I've already done the math. Yeah. So I'm glad you
I
went
know
with
it's
4
getting
stars.
2.
Yes, good. You got the math as well.
It's getting 2.
Can I present this, please?
Because if you'd have gone 5, it would have got a 3.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, but you've gone 4.
I should have went for 5.
Yeah, you know what?
It's too late now. There's no re-ups.
Nah, it's
Listen,
fine.
if you'd have gone for 5, we'd have had to have an emergency meeting after this podcast.
It would have been after. It'd been in the middle.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the middle.
Yeah. We'd have
Because I would
recorded
be
the
doing
meeting.
I'll be like, what's half? What's half? What does 2 halves get? None. That's what we'll be doing.
Fam.
Listen, Kyle, the hashtag TMRG star rating for Ready or Not is 2 stars.
Good.
Fair rating.
Yes, a very fair rating.
It's, as I said, this is the exact same as Child's Play. If you don't go back and listen to it, it's the exact same. So I came into this show knowing you two was going to say the exact same thing.
Listen, you came into this show late. Yeah. It's fucking 10 to 1 and we're still here because you came in here late.
I knew you lot were going to enjoy it, but still give it a shit rating. I knew.
Well, it is what it
Wait,
is.
I'm curious.
I can't enjoy a film and give it a shit rating.
course you
I
can.
can't.
You can.
I can't. No, that's not the way I
can.
rate it. That's
Well,
not the way
to
I
be
rate
fair,
films.
you
If something's shit, I give it a shit rating. If something's good, I give it a good rating.
because there's things
That's
that are
it.
shit that you like.
Levels.
No.
But the thing is,
Okay,
right,
there's a film. You've seen a lot of films. Okay,
Yeah.
there's a film, and I didn't even think of it at the time. It's while we was talking about the film. There's a film that came out many years ago called Stay Alive. Okay, and it's about a computer game. Like these people play a computer game, but there's like a ghost thing attached to it. Like they play on, and it's the very early echelons of online gaming. Go and watch this film and see if there's any similarities between that and this.
All right.
And I enjoyed that one. I've watched that one a few times. Obviously, it came out in 2006. So it's a while. Yeah, but just look at it for the time that it came out, and we'll have a conversation about that. Maybe in the wrap up show.
Those movie review guys.
Subscribe to the podcast and stream full episodes on all major streaming platforms.